Hello, Nakama, and welcome back to the Church of One Piece. I am your pastor, the One Piece Apologist, and today's sermon will be covering Chapter 58, The Crap Geezer. Whew! The battle between Moji and Richie intensifies. It's really heating up now. Apparently it's been going for 12 hours straight. They are really going at it. And of course, during all this time that they've been fighting, the rest of the crew has just fallen asleep, including the lion Richie, who is apparently dreaming of being captain himself. You go, Richie, dreaming, don't give it up, Richie, so, yeah. I support your dreams, Richie. You be captain. You can do this. And then we get into the actual story of this chapter titled The Crap Geezer. I've always loved that Sanji just, calls Zeph that as almost like a term of endearment. You crap geezer. But it looks like they're starting out their time on the rock together. Zeph seems to know cold hard reality. He is ready for this to be an awful experience. Talking about the sun bleaching their bones and all this. And, it's not going to be good, right? But Sanji, filled with naivety and hope. He keeps thinking it's got to be okay. There's got to be a ship that's going to come by. It's okay. We're going to be saved. He thinks that it's going to take 20 days max for a ship to come by. I'm sure. It must. Couldn't possibly be longer than that. And in that, he plans to make the 5 days of food that Zeph gave him last for 20 days. So that he makes sure that he still has things to eat for as long as he thinks he's going to be on this island. And it's like, I don't know, children they're not big in the self-control department. And so I think it's pretty cool to see just how well young Sanji is doing at maintaining that self-discipline. He clearly does understand the gravitas of the situation. Their lives are at stake here. Man, though, it was heartbreaking. It was only day 5, but a ship comes by, and Sanji's like, please help us. We're stranded here. And they don't hear him because it's raining. And they're far, and he's a child. And so many things. Can you just imagine the devastation to that hope that I previously mentioned he had? You see that thing and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna be good, and it's not, and and to take you up there, it takes you much lower. It's actually a tactic Oda Sensei uses in his writing, but there you go. And then on day 25, he's on his last piece of food, and again, just absolutely heartbreaking. He's reflecting on this moldy piece of bread, the only food he has left. The 5 days of food he's made it last 25 days, not just 20 days. And he thinks back on when he used to waste food on the orbit and thought it was gross that the chefs were eating off the other people's plates. And he just regrets it. And it's like, again, the shattering of that childhood innocence and hope is really hard to watch, I guess. And, but he knows now that he was foolish to have done so, to have wasted that food. And so he goes to try and eat this last moldy piece of bread, and he drops it down in the ocean. And it's just like, fuck, no. Are you serious? How can you do this to him right now? He's already starving. What do you... Oh, no. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's so hard. It's so hard to read. And then, after running out of food on day 25, Sanji makes it all the way to day 70 before he is just so desperate that he's willing to try anything, basically. That is 45 days without food. Obviously not survivable in our world, I believe, but luckily it is survivable here, but clearly just barely. Sanji is gone. He is absolutely run ragged, and he is clearly not healthy. And so finally he is desperate, day 70, and he goes and he has a knife, and he's like, if the geezer won't share that 3 times the food that he had with me, then I'll go over there and I'll kill him myself, and I'll take the food because I need that food. I'm so hungry, and if he has some left, then I need it. And so he looks over the rock, and Zeph still has his entire big sack. It looks untouched from 70 days ago. And Sanji's just like, holy crap, he has so much food left. How can he possibly, And he just runs over there and he says, give me some of your food. And he starts trying to cut open the the big sack, and when he does, he discovers that there's nothing but treasure in there. From the beginning, Zeph gave him all of the food, and made that huge sacrifice for him. Not only did he give him all the food, but he then it turns out, actually, as we saw at the end of the last chapter, removed part of his own leg. Remember, he was known as Red Shoes Zeph, known for his powerful kicks. Without a second leg, he is almost definitely not going to be able to be a pirate anymore. But he sacrifices that leg for Sanji, and to make sure that Sanji lives. And that's big. That's some real big stuff, It's just an incredible scene. And again, Sanji just doesn't understand why this man would do this for him. You don't even know me. We're strangers. Why would you go to such lengths to save my life? And Zeph then reveals that it's because they actually share a dream. It was Zeph's dream to find the All Blue as well. And he knew that he was too old, and especially now with this missing leg, he definitely wasn't going to be able to accomplish that dream of finding the All Blue. But if he could save Sanji, if he could make sure Sanji lived on, then he'd be able to make sure that dream got accomplished. And I think there's something beautiful in that, Obviously, it is somewhat selfish motivations for Zeph even, right? It's he wants his dream accomplished, so he wants Sanji to go do it for him. But at the same time, he's still willing to sacrifice his leg and probably his life for Sanji to have a continued existence. And then just very interesting comment, Sanji basically comments that, like, how can you keep being a pirate if you removed your leg? And Zeph is basically like, I couldn't have really kept being a pirate anyway. All my crew is dead. They all died in the capsizing and in the storm. And, they were his Nakama. So there's just no continuing to pirate without them. They wouldn't be worth it. The journey wouldn't even make sense anymore. I think that's interesting to see. I don't think all pirates are like that, but I think Zeph and Luffy and a few others that we know, definitely more like that. And so, Zeph, he's clearly delusional, basically, that he I don't think he even really thinks he's going to survive, but he's just dreaming out loud, and he's kind of just like, if I were to survive this, I want to open up a seagoing restaurant, where this is not the first time that I've experienced hunger/starvation, and so I want to open up a restaurant that can move around and find people even who are starving and feed them, and or sailors stranded in the middle of the ocean can get to more easily, and that's what I want to do if I get out of here. And Sanji is basically like begging him not to die because he feels indebted to this man who gave him all the food, right? And he's begging him not to die, and he's like, please, I'll help you open that restaurant, like just stay with us. And so it's clear that Sanji feels he owes Zeph and will defend both Zeph and the Brautier with his life. He clearly feels that Zeph and Zeph's dream of the Brautier now outrank his own life and his dream of the All Blue, right? Because Zeph sacrificed himself for Sanji, so Sanji owes Zeph, right? I mean, Wookiee life debt. I don't know if the rules of Wookiee life debt apply to this, Sanji, but we'll see. It is also very interesting to note that Sanji says, Zeph helped him, a worthless boy. He calls himself a worthless boy. And so we will have to keep tuning in to find out what would make Sanji worthless. I'd like to say find out next time, but honestly, find out in about 800 to 900 chapters. So keep tuning in, and we will get there eventually. But until then, this has been the review for Chapter 58, The Crap Geezer. And as always, One Piece be with you.